Okay, so at the end of week 4, I thought we'd end with a very contemporary, meaning very modern, very up to date discussion. I'm calling it a debate because I think it is good to actually have, because some of you may have differing opinions about this. I know have mixed feelings about the prompt versus the code. Okay, so first, what does this mean, right? So we've had some experience in coding, we've had some experience in prompting. And in the case of, let's say, going back to end of week 3, was it? No, end of week 3, we did the prompt to create code. So in this case, let's actually think about this idea in a sense of a debate, because we've shifted from coding by numbers, just learning the syntax and how, to actually code HTML and CSS, to coding by design, to where you take something and you customize it. You have a design in mind and you're trying to create that through code. So when you use Gen AI, right, as your art director, and you use MDN for a technical manual, and you experienced, AI imagery and the precision of manual CSS coding. So you've had enough different variety of experiences to where sometimes we code, sometimes we prompt. And, there is a big debate raging right now with some people saying, and I think this is, you can hear content and creators on both sides of this, and just thought leaders argue that hand coding will be obsolete, and you'll simply prompt a layout into existence, right? Others argue without technical knowledge of the box and the selectors, a developer will never truly be able to refine or fine tune what AI creates. So in this case, right, where do you fall in this discussion? So to help you have this discussion, I've given you some points that I want you to reflect on in your post. Like what was a specific design detail in your remix that you did, right? That was easier to hand code than it would be to describe to AI. Okay. So, because part of using AI is how to frame the questions that you're having or what you're trying to accomplish. And because you had an example to follow, imagine that you were trying to actually have Gen AI help you there. And how would you have described that, And then the writer versus builder. So, do you think the future is a writer who prompts or a builder who codes? And can you be one without the other? This is a real question, is can people just learn to write good prompts in order to create web content? And the answer is absolutely at a beginning entry level. But as your sophistication level goes up, then the prompting is going to be more. These are my opinions here, but in my opinion, the more sophistication you go up, only using prompting, you definitely are going to hit a curve, right? But it doesn't. The point of this discussion is like, what do you think? You've had enough experience now. There's no right or wrong answer here, right? So, and then the AI black box, because AI can definitely give you wrong answers. And if you don't know the answer, if you don't have any experience, it's hard to know if what it's giving you is just hallucinations, right? So, the AI black box, if an AI suggests a CSS property you've never seen, do you feel comfortable using it? Part of it may be just, can you get it to do what you're trying to accomplish in your design? Right? Or do you feel the need for the scavenger hunt on MDN, right? Or um, so you have to go out and find that thing, right? Because you want to understand how it's used. And I'm framing this as a debate, but clearly, as I talk about it, you can see where I fall, which is that you need to have an understanding of the code in order to be more effective at prompting. But again, this is the idea of where do you fall on this. So now, once you do your post, right? So 1 to 2 paragraphs on that, right? Reply at least one classmate to keep the debate going, right? Challenge their view. I mean, we may all have a similar view, and I almost worry that the way that I'm framing this, I don't want to sway yours, because the idea is I actually want to hear how you feel about this, right? Ask them how they handle a client who wants a specific 2x change and the AI keeps missing it, right? And these are just examples, right? If they're saying prompting is the future, then how do you handle that? And then maybe share a hallucination. Have you, maybe not around CSS, but if you had one around CSS, that'd be a great one to do. Like maybe hallucinate on the image you were trying to create. And then tell us how you use your human developer skills to fix it. I mean, this is the thing about hallucinations, is the more experience you have, the more likely you're to pick up on these things. Okay. So then I show you, in this case, right, 20% from reply and then 80 from your post. So make sure you give this some effort and thought that goes into this. Okay. All right. So that ends the week. Time to start our week 5.